I'm so excited to be doing this today. I feel very open to being a little playful in how I do this reading. Hi! Oh, so many cuties. So usually I ask a question and then pull a spread and then kind of go through what that spread is and what the cards mean and where they are. But I'm feeling into something a little different today. And I want to start. Just a few minutes ago, I opened this book to a random page, Women Who Run with the Wolves. It is basically a book of stories. And I'm going to read this like little section of it because, I don't know, it called me to it today. Wolves are good at relationships. Anyone who has observed wolves sees how deeply they bond. Mates most often mate for life. Even though they clash, even though there is dissension, their bonds carry them over and through harsh winters, plentiful springs, long walks, new offspring, old predators, tribal dances, and group sings. The relational needs of humans are no different. While the instinctual lives of wolves include loyalty and lifelong bonds of trust and devotion, humans sometimes have trouble with these matters. If we were to use archetypal terms to describe what determines the strong bonds among wolves, we might surmise that the integrity of their relationships is derived from their submission to the ancient life, death, life, nature. The life, death, life, nature is a cycle of animation, development, decline, and death that is always followed by reanimation. This cycle affects all physical life and all facets of psychological life. Everything, the sun, novas, and the moon, as well as the affairs of humans and those of the tiniest creatures like cells and atoms, has this fluttering, then faltering, then fluttering again. Cool. I thought that was pretty neat, and however that applies to your lives right now, I find a lot of comfort in thinking about cycles, especially in this time when there's so much uncertainty. It can give us like a feeling like we're actually rooted in grasping real things that we can depend on. And so anyway, moving on to our card reading, I'm going to use my fairy deck today, which last time I did a reading, I used a different deck where I don't read the book because I know all of them. Of course, you're welcome. And today I'm feeling the need to kind of break out of any sort of mold and be a little more radical, intuitive in how we do this. So I will pull one card and we will look into what that card means and who is represented. And then if we have follow-up questions, feel free to type them in the chat, or I can kind of come up with them and we can kind of weave a reading together intuitively. So the first question I'm going to ask is, for all of our highest good, for the collective, as individuals and as an interconnected network of consciousness, what do we need to see today for our highest good and highest healing? Who would we benefit from being visited by? That was a long question, but go with me here. Ooh. So I just pulled Gyu the Slow. Yes. Look at how peaceful, and he's just like chilling, looking at everything, watching everything grow. If you looked past him quickly, you probably would miss him because he blends right in with the leaves. Let me just see the number. Okay, I'm going to read it. Okay. So the message with this fairy is, slow down, sit back in your chair and think a little. Why are you going so fast? What do you hope to gain from it? Are you metaphorically trying to push the river? What kind of stress is being created in your life by hurrying? The presence of Guillaume the Slow in a reading indicates that the situation or issue is part of a long process that cannot well be hurried. It is important to settle in for the long haul and to set a pace that you can maintain for as long as needed, while remaining relaxed and patient. If you are short on patience, try cultivating your acquaintance with the singer of the chalice. We can read from her next. You will find life much more delightful if you do. Guillaume himself clearly does, to judge from his face. Yeah. So slow down. And this card mentions the singer of the chalice, which is like a super cool entity. So we can read about that card, or we can ask a follow-up question. Does anyone have... Yeah, long haul is right. Does anyone have a question or an add-on? Or, I feel like it's valid to also say that, like, while this is a very wonderful message of slowing down, it makes a lot of sense that a lot of us are trying to move very fast because we're scared. And there's a lot of different ways that people cope with fear and uncertainty and confusion and rage and all of those things. And going slow, yes, it is very important. And I guess it's like, how can we cultivate a relationship with this fairy to slow down when we can, to give ourselves the broader perspective and ability to kind of zoom out and be a little more objective with our lives, especially when we're in a crisis where everything feels very buzzy, like there's a lot going on. So yeah, I think I'm gonna read the Singer of the Chalice, because I feel like that is a fantastic follow-up. So for those of us who are having trouble with cultivating a relationship with Guillaume the Slow, this will be our helper. Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit about her. This singer holds the chalice from which a rainbow of energies pours like the richest wine. Trust, love, patience. These are things we think of having or not having. We even give ourselves credit for having them as if we made them ourselves, and yet they are natural energies of the cosmos, which flow through the chalice and through us when we are open to them, and flow around us when we are blocking them. That's so cool. I love that. People often think that love and hate are two sides of the same emotional coin, but that isn't quite true. Love is not simply the absence of hate, nor is hate the absence of love. They are altogether different things, as can easily be seen. When we are angry, it wears us out and leaves us feeling like less than we were. Sometimes. I don't know if I fully agree. Anyway, I'll keep going. But when we love, it energizes us and we feel larger and richer than we were before that burst of love began flowing through us. This is because anger comes from within, burning from our own substance, while love is an energy that flows through us, enlightening and expanding us. I will say that anger is, in my opinion and practice, a very valid movement agent that helps us focus and speak up for ourselves. So there is a beauty in anger, but I understand what this is saying. The other energies from this chalice are also like that. Patience, for example, is not merely the absence of impatience. It is a joyful, loving willingness to wait for a process to bring us to where we want to be. It contains trust and love and a special quality of expectant gratitude within it. The same is true of trust. In fact, all of these wonderful feelings are energies that flow through us when we are open to them. They each feel like the others, and right now, just at this moment, as I write this to you, I am being given a glimpse of something wonderful. They really are all one thing, something we don't have a word for. We need a word that includes trust and love and compassion and healing and patience and all of the other feelings that enhance and enlighten our being when we allow them to flow through us. I ask the fairies here if there is a fairy name for this rainbow blissful feeling. They nod, smiling, and shrug. I get an unspoken feeling that if you have the feeling, you don't need a name, and anyone who hasn't got the feeling isn't going to understand a word for it. It's just one of those things, like the mystical experience of ecstasis, that we can talk about without understanding, or we can understand and not really explain to someone who hasn't already got it. Cool. And then I'll read this little message. With the help of the singer of the chalice and of the fairies, you too can get this one feeling that is all the good feelings in one: unconditional love, trust, hope, healing, patience, and so on. Open is open. Be open. If you don't know how, ask. It is right there. Cool. So this feeling of being, of going slow, that when we're having challenges navigating how to slow down, when we need to be focusing on so many things, it really does. Then this is a really good reminder that how we can get there if we feel like we are just so out of patience that it's really hard to tap into something like that. Then if we look at it as this beautiful energy that is swirling around us anyway, and all we have to do is be open to it, and allow our energy bodies to be enlightened by that flowing grace, then we will be able to access slowing down easier. Does that make sense? I love that. That's beautiful. Let's see. I'll pull one more card, and I will ask, does anyone have a question that they are thinking, or I can come up with one as well? Yes, exactly. We can bring logic. We can logify a situation where we then disconnect from the feeling of love. Totally. Yeah. Let's see. What other messages would the collective, would all of us hearing this right now, benefit most from for our highest good? Moving forward with Gyo the Slow. Very cool. Ooh. Very, very nice. Let's see. She of the Krauk. The receptive principle, nurturing, fertility. This is the great goddess, the many-named mother of all, and all goddesses are attributes or aspects of her. Her cup, the Krauk, overflows with bounty for all. She is the yin energy of the universe, nurturing, compassionate, and wise. She gives form and brings into manifestation the will and the life force of he of the fiery sword. His is the intention, the action, and hers is the manifest reality. So I also want to say that this deck definitely genders energy in a way that I don't think we necessarily need to, but I think I understand that the breakdown of energies, yin and yang, masculine and feminine, are really intuitive, receptive, and assertive, creative. So this isn't actually saying that this being is a woman. This is talking about the essence of energy that this being works with, and the human who wrote this gendered it. So just want to say that too. Let's read what their message is. She of the Krauk may indicate a form of pregnancy, a necessary time of nurturing and development. We need to be open to her overflowing grace. She may also indicate a need to allow her nurturing grace to flow through us to others in the form of unconditional love and giving and spiritual healing. She tells us of the need for unconditional receiving and making the best of what we are offered. So cool. She also reminds us that unbounded love and grace is ours, just waiting to be accepted. The presence of this card in a reading radiates comfort and nurturing to all of the cards around it. Very nice. So this is a time where we use what we have around us. And especially if for those of us that are quarantined and we're non-essential workers, we can get real sick of being in the same space day in and day out. But if we transition that lens and we instead look at it as like, wow, I'm so grateful that I have this space. I'm so grateful that I have all these resources or whatever we have at our disposal. If we're grateful for those things and we look at it as a gift where we can bring our inner beings, our inner pregnancies, our inner creations to fruition, and we have the space to do that, then that's a pretty cool thing. And I love this. So patience, compassion, calling in love, and unconditional love, just with zero conditions, ready to love at any time. So cool. Well, I feel like that's a pretty full, straightforward reading. We're meant to slow on down, call in the singer of the chalice, and allow that energy to flow through us. All of the good feelings in one: the passion, patience, love, and then also look at this time as a form of pregnancy, where we are giving birth to newness within ourselves and all around ourselves, and being thankful for whatever space we have to do that, while also sending a lot of thanks to the people who are not able to take the time to do this kind of stuff because they are essential workers and they're working around the clock, and sending love out to them frequently, I think, is also a good idea. Thank you so much for tuning in. And next week, Abby will be here, and she will be giving a tarot reading for the collective Sunday at noon. So be sure to tune in for that. And you can always message us if you're going through something really tough during the week and you want us to kind of anonymously include what you want focus on in our reading, then we can absolutely do that. So feel free to reach out. And thank you so much, everybody. Sending much love to all of you, and I hope to see you all next week. All right. Yay! Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This was really fun. All right. Mwah! Have a wonderful week. We're always here for you.